Just quick before we get going, just obviously very disappointed in the result today. Certainly had more than enough chances to win this football game. Some mistakes early on gave them hope, gave them life, and to their credit, they did a good job of possessing the football in the second half, wearing us down. We will stay unified in our locker room. We will stay together. We will go to Pittsburgh next week, and we will compete the way the Miami Hurricanes compete. With that, I'll open the questions.
Coach, you guys look like you really struggled to throw the ball downfield. Any comments on that? How you going to work on that going into next week?
Yeah, we have to keep running our stuff. Obviously, we made a great throw down the field in a decisive situation at the end of the game that set us up potentially for a game winner. We are playing with very little margin of error to win close games, and I think that's what's obvious tonight. We can't do anything about it. To get the ball down there close 3 times and come away with no points, and really the 4th time was on was a sack. I mean, we drove the ball inside their 30-yard line 4 times and came away with no points. I mean, that is the margin for error that I'm talking about. That makes you, as an offensive play caller, almost like you get to call perfect plays. But we have to just power through that. That's our situation.
Manny, kicking is such a mental thing. I mean, obviously, all 3 of those kids, I'm sure, we all know they can kick a football.
Right.
Why is it at the point of kind of no return from the mental standpoint? Do you feel like those kids are broken mentally? Like, how would you sort of assess?
You know, it's so fascinating, and you could write a book on it. And if you figured it out, you could sell that and not have to do what you do for a living. I mean, any of us. This week in practice, they were unbelievable kicking the ball. Bubba and Turner both. It's just, it's you get them out there. It is what it is, and then one, obviously, is there a momentum effect where one begets the next one and whatever, and it's hard. You got a team full of guys that are fighting and battling and whatever, and we know, look, in the ACC Coastal, the games are going to be tight. They're going to be competitive. When you play a team like Georgia Tech and you give them a touchdown on defense and basically a touchdown on special teams, a game that it's going to become. We bought ourselves a close game through some mistakes we made in the first half, and then when we get into close games, to not be able to finish red zone drives with easy field goals and it lifts up their sideline. You can see their reaction. It's demoralizing to our sideline. All we know how to do is to manage the situation. We continue to coach the guys. We give them all the psychological help that we can afford them. And as I've said from when this first became an issue, they are who we have. We do not have free agency, and we just continue to press on.
Do you have any updates on DJ, Mike, and any of the guys?
All those guys, basically what we'll find out all about all of them tomorrow. So, obviously it hurt that, I thought the guys that stepped in for him, performed admirably, but we had a lot of our best players missing today for sure.
Coach, we saw Ryan Racone get a lot of play time after everything went down.
Correct.
What kind of went into that decision playing him over, say, Sam Brooks?
Well, Sam plays Mike and Ryan plays Will, so they just play different positions. And Shaq, being the warrior that he was just not going to come off the field in a game like this. So Ryan's been our backup Will linebacker since Zach, took the red shirt, and I thought it looked like Ryan did a good job when he was in there.
Coach, you said you have 1 game left with Zach. Was there any thoughts at all?
No, we felt like we were monitoring Ryan to see, but we felt like Ryan was doing a good job in there and wasn't hurting us. So we'll have to assess how things look going forward.
Coach, just big picture, you're over the halfway point of the season. Anything like big picture wise you put your finger on as to maybe why this team isn't having the consistency that you'd like to have?
Well, yeah, it's a manner of winning these close games, these toss-ups, right? And what are all the things that matter in winning close games? And obviously we talk about finishing red zone drives, and field goal kicking is a massive thing. Just, if you could wave a magic wand and go back to the year and just go that, where are we at now? Where are we at mentally now? How do we view ourselves now if we just corrected that thing? But let's not just point the finger, at our field goal kicking. There's a lot of things that still we need to do better to make us harder to beat. Obviously we were backed up today. We're trying to throw a screen. We don't get rid of the ball. We hold on to the ball and it turns into a touchdown. We're basically just trying to get room to punt the football and just make a poor decision there. And then obviously something we had coached up all week on punt safe of driving their missiles out of bounds, and the guy run by us, and their punter throws a great throw, gets them another touchdown. And again, in a game like that, it's just, we're not in a situation where we're going to roll up on somebody, by 28 points. I mean, I felt like we were in control of the game in the first half, and went in the locker room with the score tied. Second half, they did a better job of leaning on us, possessing the clock, time of possession, and taking advantage of some of our lack of depth in some of the spots where we had some injuries on defense.
Yeah, you know the way it works in town, where you know the way it works. If you lose any game here and there's noise, when you're at this point when it's 3 and 4, the noise is going to be really cranked up. What do you tell you? How do you tell your kids to handle it? How do you, your kids, you're not
Yeah.
going to keep them from.
You don't.
You're not going to avoid it.
You don't.
How do you tell them to deal with it?
You can't. You got to come and you got to band together, and the way you figure it out is with your work, And what line of work would that be any different? If you're not getting the results that you want, you have to just apply more work. Now, we can't bang our head in the same wall. I mean, there's things that we all have to look at, coaching staff down, that we can be doing better to help our guys to win some of these coin flip games. But there's two options. The option is either press on or surrender, and surrender for sure doesn't work, right? So to me, the choice we have is to press on.
When you talk about their success in turning into a physical game, running the ball, line of scrimmage, and were you surprised defensively that you didn't hold it better today?
What I was disappointed in was the drive right before halftime. I thought we did a very poor job tackling. I thought our guys were at the spot, at the point of attack to stop the run, and I thought their runners ran harder than what we tackled. And I thought that was disappointing. I thought that drive sort of gave them confidence going into the second half to try to do the same thing. And I thought, now we respected Mason as a very, even our game a year ago. As I said, they had these guys from a year ago that we thought he was a very tough, very physical runner. But the way we had played run defense this year to give him 20 for 141, including just running through a tackle there in the overtime on second down, we just. You need your guys to step up and make plays. I didn't like the way that I thought we were too high on our tackle angles instead of getting into his legs, because again, big guys like that will run through that.
More questions. We've seen recruits decommit, teams starting to struggle to lose. What's your message to the guys who've been committed to you for so long right now?
Well, they're part of the solution, right? I mean, there's no doubt about that. They're part of the solution. We have, we've mentioned all along, we have a very small senior class. We have a very young football team. You can see through all these games, you can see the promise of the future, while at the same time seeing some of the ugliness of the present. So to me, it's about understanding that, hey, there is an opportunity. This is, for lack of a better word, this is a rebuild, right? I mean, this is something that, we're not just picking up where we left off with great success. So to me, I think the guys in our conversation with them, even up to this point, have been excited to come be a part of the solution.
Manny, you said that Jared would be your starter if he was healthy and obviously himself get in there. Just where does it stand with the quarterback situation?
Nothing's changed, and exactly what we needed to have happened, where Jaron did come in. As we checked out Nikosi's shoulder, and I thought Nikosi did a great job, made some really good throws in the fourth quarter. Again, twice. And if you look at this game, and again, this is with the fine margins, right? If you look at what our offense did against Virginia a week ago, we felt so great about beating a top 20 team, just 7-8 days ago. Offense went right down the field in the fourth quarter. Two big scoring drives cemented the game. Today, offense went right down the field twice in the fourth quarter, and ultimately had nothing to show for it. And that, if you really think about it, is the difference between the mood now and the mood last Friday. And so, to me, that's why I'm saying there's too much right going on to panic. There's too much right to throw your hands up and say it's time to doubt what's going on here. I think the guys see that, and I think we just have to learn how to finish.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you all.